Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast with your hosts, Doug Macedo and Jim Roberg.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Doug, and today we've got a guest with us. We've got Steven here. We had him on the podcast earlier this year, at the beginning of the year. But he was able to come back. He wanted to come back, and we were very excited to have you back, Steven. Thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's always good to have everybody to return back whenever you guys want to, because again, this is an open door here. We want to have everybody coming back whenever they want to come back when we, have the openings and stuff like that. But before we get into everything today, this evening, I want to give a big thank you to our last guest that we're on, Jim Spot, as well as Connor Matthews. Appreciate them coming on, talking about what was going on, and what's new with them. As a lot of people, if you didn't see the episode, Connor Matthews is a UFC fighting, MMA, jiu-jitsu. He's also a controller in the United States Air Force. And Jim Spot is a retired Coast Guard veteran. He still does some contracts through the government and stuff like that to keep him busy, but he also does the Guardian at Lightham for the families that are going through some situations and stuff. So want to definitely tell them thank you for coming on. Give a big shout out to all of our sponsors out there, Veterans Development Corporation, the Guardians of the Purple Heart, Larry's Landscape Supply, Jimmy's Pizza and Dudley, Big Belly Cafe, Reed's Archery, Wolf Aviation, New England Blue Collar Printing. It's so many of them. Harbor Freight. We've got a few big announcements with new sponsors coming on, but can't put it out there yet until the end of this year, beginning of next year. But we got a lot of new stuff coming in. But without further ado, definitely want to, and then also to all the viewers, thank you for coming back and watching this episode and seeing the previous episodes and keep supporting us. Wanted to say without you guys and the donors and all that, without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are at and be able to keep giving you the information and getting you guys connected with each other. So definitely appreciate that. So with that, Steve, what's going on? What's new? I know we were talking just recently. You have the Comic Cause that's happening on Veterans Day, which just took place. What do you guys? What's going on? What's new other than the shows that you guys are doing and the events?
Yeah, well, this year we've wrapped up our main series with 8 issues. We have 8 issues on Global Comics now for the main series, and we've titled that one "The Ballad of Philip Kirshner," and we've gone through his full story there and finished that arc, and we're kind of looking where we're gonna head, from that point. We'll probably take a couple months and try to figure out. We've got a few ideas of what we want to run, for the next flagship main story and things like that. But we'll probably focus on our short stories for at least till the end of the year, and then jump into that.
Yeah. Do you guys have are you guys working on any locations? Anything in the works that are going to be at, like you were doing the New Jersey, you came up here to up in our area, up in Leominster and all that. Do you have any places that you guys are planning on going to for events and stuff like that?
Most of it is, we're just kind of talking around to people. We've got a few things in the works. I might be working something out of DC this year, and then of course trying to move a little bit further south as well. But
yeah.
For the next year, I think we're mainly going to try to focus on those local Jersey, New England areas, and hit up events and things like that there.
Okay.
Because now that we've got this first main story out, I think we're really proud of that product. I think we definitely want to hit the pavement and try to throw that out, and we're gonna try to focus it into. We have the 8 issues, each issue about 22 pages long, so we want to combine those and put that into one big compendium, and you can throw it out that way too.
Yeah it is. It's always nice because again, this is these stories that you're doing in the book. It's as what you're writing and what you're drawing and stuff like that. These are stuff that stories of what stuff that it's taken place with you, as you being in the service and all that.
Yeah, I'm definitely pulling a lot of from personal experience, especially transitioning out of the military, and then into the civilian life and all of that. That's really kind of the metaphor that I'm using for the comic, having this character who's an everyday average guy living in a world full of superheroes, and just the insanity that everyday life exists for this man. And that's kind of a sentiment that I've found with other veterans as well. It's you get out of the military and the world doesn't make sense anymore. Things are insane, and you're trying to parse with that and what you did in the military as well.
Yeah. No, and it's again, it's just it's taking this, it's doing a little bit of everything, and it's how I'm trying to say, but it's just giving it a view of the everyday life out there that every soldiers and stuff like that, veterans go through as they're getting out. which is, I mean, I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I know because I was supposed to go up to Leominster and actually go up to that signing and stuff, and then I got so tied up with some other stuff, which is, I'm making excuses. Excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
And they all stink.
Oh, absolutely. Well, mine does smell like roses a little bit.
Yeah.
If I spray the aerosol canister, But yeah, no, it's like I wanted to get up to Leominster and be able to get a copy of it. But I know because you do sell them online, correct? Because you get the digital version.
Yeah. We've got Global Comics is really good, that whole site, because it allows you to have so many different options that you can use as a creator. If you're up on KDP, Amazon, or even Barnes and Nobles and stuff, it's just like direct sell, and you have to use their formatting and everything. But the Global Comics site, you format it, you can do it digitally. You can have people, purchase PDFs to download if they don't want to, do a subscription and they only want to follow your content. If they do subscribe, they can use their unlocked tokens and things like that. But they also opened the option this year that if you can do print on demand, you have like a link to your printer, which we do.
Yeah.
You put that with your comic, and people can go to that link and purchase your comic print, right there.
Yeah, because I know that's what the heck, a buddy of mine, Tim Chambers, because he has that where it's like a print on demand and stuff like that, which I believe you guys use the same. Didn't you guys? Because you know who Tim Chambers is, right?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. He wrote a book. But he does where they do his publisher and all that. They do all the printing on demand. I thought might have been someone else who has the same publisher, but they were doing it print on demand, and like you get all the information right there, and you can either get the digital or you can get the book, which will then print out and be sent out to you. Which, I mean, it works. It's a great line to have, because again, it's just something that's out there that maybe the stores don't have, but you can get it still print. You can still get a book just by going through the publisher. Now, have you thought about even? Because I know, as you were saying, you want to go and go further down south and stuff like that. Have you thought about even setting up at like VA hospitals and trying to see if you can set up at their places and have the book going through through the VA?
No, I haven't reached out to the VA or anything like that. It's definitely something too that I'm it was like on the back thought there that, hey, maybe I can try to get some sort of contact with APs and go into APs bookstores and stuff like that. But every distributor has their own way of doing things, and they've got all that, and really and truly that's a lot of what has kept creatives and artists out of the industry for so long, is a lot of those processes and gatekeeping and things that are just like, if you don't know the right people and you don't know what doors to open and where to go through, you're just going to get lost in those processes. But now with everything being digital and stuff like that, and the different sites that are available, hey man, it's open, and you can just pump out content as much as you want, and try to build that following and community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because, I mean, again, you're absolutely 100% correct. It's like you will get lost if you don't know who you got to talk to, and nobody is going to say, well, this is who you got to talk to, because 9 out of 10 times, more than likely, you will probably get someone who probably doesn't even know what the hell who's who or who does what.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's crazy because, like, if you get into, you know, and this is me just kind of nerding out, but if you get into like comic book history, you'll find a lot of these independent creators like Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Yeah.
These guys, they take out a small loan, they go to a comic distributor, they pay for an initial run, that gets thrown in a comic book shop, and then it, you know, catches fire and goes from there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, today you can't even come close to doing that. I mean, we talked to there's basically 2 distributing companies for comic books, and you go to them and they're like, nope, unless you have a business plan, you have like this, you're going to show like how much money you're going to put down, where this is going, and that, like, they've set the game so much that those kind of options aren't available for the small, like, independent guys and solo guys. And if you're somebody like a small print publishing company, you know, and you have assets and things like that, yeah, of course you can be like, yeah, have my business guy go talk to that distributor and we'll figure something out. But
yeah,
they don't cater to individual creators at all anymore.
No, it's definitely, because again, it's a shark world with this, and when it comes to being only 2, you know, comic book printing companies, it's like it's gonna be very hard to get your foot in the door and be able for them to do that. You know, because they want to make money, and they don't want to just make, you know, say $10,000 on running, say 5,000 issues, you know, or 5,000 prints, and then you come back you don't ever come back again. You know, they're playing the hope that you take off. You know, they want to have all that money coming in.
Oh, of course. And I mean, you know, that's the deal with comic books is even you know, the ones that we all know, Marvel, DC, stuff like that. On their comic book side of the house, often enough they're operating in the red, you know, because they've got, you know, artists that they're paying, you know, exorbitant rates, page rates to create these comics, and they've got whole teams of people. And then, you know, if that goes out to their distributing and it doesn't sell as well, they've lost out. So, you know, it's like their whole business model is the intellectual property rights, the movies, the selling the ads, marketing, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, that's the business of comic books. And, you know,
because like I just as I'm going to step out of the picture for 2 seconds, I just where is it at? Because again, I love comic. I don't get me wrong. I enjoy reading comic books. Where's it at? Simpsons, for instance. Okay, this is an older one. This is the Duff Beer one. So it was like again, those are big name, and they made, you know, they made millions off of them. But again, it's just because those take off, those made the money. The other one was, this is was the hell, it's Beavis and Butthead, but it's it was like, I believe it was issue 3 or something like that, because I got so many different ones. This was the Booger World, you know. So, and then you had the Beavis and Butthead one. That again, it's another one. But you know, these say, some of them say 50 cents or $1, but I can guarantee you. I mean, some of these are worth probably a little bit more than that. But again, it's these things they've made, you know, millions off of, because they probably printed, you know, 10, 15 million by now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Access, availability, if you can get in every single comic shop across the United States, you're gonna make something.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, but yeah, it's crazy, but it's really been to the advantage of the individual creator that these things have been coming around. And you go to Global Comics and you see a lot of similar styles of, I guess, storytelling that I'm trying to do and operate outside of this conventional idea of like fantasy and sci-fi and things, and tell more relatable stories and try to have that art be more meaningful, so that it doesn't feel like it's just like a Sunday comic or a teenage superhero comic and things like that.
No, and again, that's where, if you can get onto the bases, maybe not even inside the PX or the BX or the AFEs or whatever, it's getting into the concord of it, of where some of the people sit up, getting it into those places, because how many veterans or how many military people or that that read comics. I can probably tell you, probably at any of the installations, I've probably known anywhere between 15 to 30, and that's just one person. Knowing that many people, there's guaranteed there's more people that read it, and if you get to an installation where there's basic training AIT guys,
they need something.
they do, and nowadays it's funny how it's like we will probably sit here and laugh at it, like what the hell's going on, but in basic and AIT, these people get, the recruits get this stuff. They get phones. They get stuff that they can do that stuff. Not when I was in. We didn't have time. We barely had time to write letters.
You were locked down, man.
It was most of the time. It was the time that we had, usually on Firewatch and stuff, that you were able to maybe write a little bit. Other than that, it was, walking around the barracks and counting everybody and counting all the rifles. But I definitely, that would be a great thing to look into. If I come across anybody that I know that may have a connection to that, I'll definitely get the information, pass it to you, because I want to see you succeed in this and be able to bloom into that, and be able to hopefully sell 1 million copies.
And it's always who you know. Not what you know, because you can always improve on your skills, your art, all that kind of stuff. It's all about being, you just find the right person.
Wait, you said it's all who you know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was all it's who you blow.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Sometimes that helps too.
It's not who you know, it's who you blow. I'll tell you, man, that just like, I kind of sit in my head and I'm like, I gotta say this now, because I'm thinking of it right off the top of my head, man. Oh, man. But yeah, no, it does. It's who you know, and occasionally who you blow, but we'll save that for another time. But it's definitely who you know, because it even comes with getting sponsors and stuff like that buy a half page or a quarter page or whatnot, and to be in these books. again, if you go into these comics, I can guarantee you can probably find at least 4 or 5 pages of it is ads of businesses. There's already two pages, and I'm not even halfway through it. It's crazy on it. It's even Levi jeans, Gibson guitars. It's again, it's who you know, and these. It goes with it. It goes with the territory of it. It's crazy, but what into other questions of the do you have any new or upcoming like other ones you're writing or you're starting to design or draw?
Yeah, that's really kind of like the I enjoy the way that me and my writer have set up the process that we've got, because we have like the main story, and it's like, okay, we knew that that's going to come to an end point, and we'll have to work around and try to figure what the next horizon is on that.
Yeah.
But that's why we set up our short stories, because they can be one-offs. They can tie into the story. They can go wherever you want. If me and him get together and we just decide one month, it's like, we want to tell a horror story this time, or we want to do this or that, or I've hit him up with like, hey, I just figured out how to do a new technique digitally. I want to try to create a story around this artistic idea. Well, that we have that open for us, and we can just come up with those. So I'm pretty sure, like, to date we've got at least like a dozen stories on the back burner that it's like, if we need to pull those up, we can just jump into them, and you're spitballing those ideas and just having that fun creative process with it and seeing where you can take it and how you're going.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's always again another good thing is when you are able to have those short stories that you're able to throw in there or throw out there and be able to have it, because that's again one of the other key things of, like, even when you're writing a book, it's like when you write a book, sometimes you don't want to have the 30-page chapter. You want to have a 7-page or a 10-page chapter, where it's a short little story.
Yeah.
It's what keeps the readers going. It's like that, kind of feeling that it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm also flexing my legs a little bit too, where I go out and I illustrate cadences for Addie's Veteran Magazine, Devil Dog Publishing.
Yeah.
So that was one of those things where Christine, she offers a free space for veterans to tell their stories, publish in. She doesn't charge anything for that. She's like, hey, if you're a veteran, you got a story, send it to her. Unless you're just like a brand new writer, brand new artist,
yeah,
she won't sit here and just like edit the crap out of your things and say, no, I won't publish that sort of content or this. She might help you make it legible, and things like that. But with me, I told her the idea and she loved it, and so far I've got 3 cadences in the magazine, and we'll be coming out with another one for the winter edition. And
nice.
I was like, yeah, man, these Army cadences are what I feel, it's a period of military culture that's been lost, because I was seeing it a lot when I was getting out of the military, in 2017, and it was real, like, you can't sing these cadences anymore. We're not even really doing cadence runs in the morning and stuff.
Yeah.
PT was more, structured in a different way, and things were trying to like focus. It was trying to focus more on, I guess, physical results rather than unit cohesion. To me, everything was based on, hey, we're gonna get to do something, and it's gonna be with the squad every day, or the platoon, and this. It's all right. Go out here and figure out how to do some CrossFit or do this to up your run time and this and that. So that piece to me feels like it's kind of like a lost little time capsule. So I'm trying to like keep that in there for future people.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I remember the cadences we used to run. It was one of them was, oh, I hear the choppers hovering. Oh, they're hovering overhead. Pops, Charlie, you shoot him in there.
Yeah.
And then
that's actually one of them that I've got illustrated. So, it's that, and of course I had to do C-130. That's
oh yeah,
the most classic.
Oh, absolutely. And then what was it? What was the one? It was what the hell was it? It was Captain Crunch.
Or Captain Jack.
Yeah, was it Captain Jack?
Yeah. It was like, hey,
Captain Jack, meet me down by the railroad track.
Railroad tracks, yeah.
Yes. Oh, dude, I was like, I'm always in for those. It was really good. It was
great. You had them. They were like raunchy. They were just raw. We're running up and down, Division Avenue, singing 1, 2, 3 1/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, I told her that too. I was like, some of these cadences, they get real raunchy and stuff. She's like, hey, whatever you got, put it in there. I was like, good deal,
there was so many. It was there was another one. It was used to drive. Used to eat at Mickey D's. Now I eat my MREs.
Yeah.
Used to
drive a Cadillac.
Yeah. Now I hump it on my back.
Yeah.
Used to date a beauty queen. Now I date my M16.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I started off with the Airborne Ranger drinking song. You could tell an Airborne Ranger by his boots.
Yeah.
I did that one, and then it turned out so well. I was like, okay, next one I gotta do is the C-130. So I did C-130, and something that I've been able to. Instead of just having the cadence on there and you're following like a literal sequential thing, I've tried to impose some meaning in all of them. With the Airborne Ranger drinking song, at the guy's an old guy in a bar, and he sits here, he's ordering 4 drinks, and then he stands up and he starts screaming out you can tell an Airborne Ranger by his boots.
Yeah.
And then once the chorus comes in, it's his old, military buddies. And then at the end, he's sitting alone with 4 empty beers, and all that. Same thing with the C-130. I've got the guy on the drop zone. He jumps out. Shoot doesn't go right. He's hitting the ground. All of that.
Yeah.
So each one of these is trying to like illustrate those in meaningful ways as well, with adding the cadence in there.
Yeah, there was one that I remember, Vincent, 101st Airborne soldier who was singing during World War II, and I would always sing it. And my wife was always like, "What the hell are you singing?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die.
Yeah.
Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die." And she's like, "The hell of a way to die? What are you fucking? Are you nuts?" I'm like, "Come on, if you're airborne, you know what this fucking song, what this cadence is."
Yeah, you know Blood on the Risers, man.
Yeah.
Like the real thing is to they stopped doing it, I think, the year that I got out in 2017. But everybody who went to airborne school before then, they all know the 70s airborne promotion video that they played.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there doing the, like, you know, the music in the back that's all 70s, and it's like, run, airborne, run until your legs are tough. So it's the ground that hurts when you land.
Yeah, it's nowadays they've taken and put in their kid gloves on. Oh, did I offend you? It's like, listen here, fucker. You fucking suck it up, Buttercup. You know, it's not that. It's definitely a whole new army, and I'm not gonna get much into it, but I'm sorry. I still got the hurt feelings report. I'll fill it out for you there, soldier. Yeah. Did it take 1 beer or 2 beers? Was it in your left ear or your right ear? You know, tell me.
See if I can share with you that first one in this chat thing there. Let's see if I can paste it in there. Will it?
Let's see.
It's that. Where'd it go? Here we go. I don't know if you'll be able to show that, but that's the, you know, by his boots, the.
Let's see if I. Ranger. Let's see if I can. The top one, I believe it is. No. I wonder if this. Oh, his boots.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me close this out, and I will drag this over.
The one I just dropped for him was that old, what was it, Sitting on a Mountaintop? Where you're like, sitting on the mountaintop, beating my drum. I beat so loud that the MPs come.
Oh, this one says, last call, Joe, and then it says, you will tell an airborne ranger by his boots.
Yeah, you can tell an airborne ranger by his boots.
Let's see.
That was the first one I did.
That was the first one. So let's see. I think it's in our chats. No, because the other one I see is the Oscar Mike radio, and then let's see. Open in browser. Oh nope. This was the. Let's see. I'm gonna bring this over. This one is the. Nope, I don't want to do that. Sorry, viewers, for this, but this is where you can see the. This is where you can actually see your books and stuff of the comics. It's the tales, the funnies, and all that, and then the short stories. Yep.
No, I'll put the Addies link in there as well. I mean, it's basically, I think it's like $8 an issue or something like that she charges. So it's not much, and you know, you have so many veterans that tell their stories in there. You get stuff from World War II, Korean War vets, you know, Vietnam vets. We're starting to see a little bit more of you know, Iraq and Desert Storm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she's got a really good you know, publication going on with that.
And this is the one that you were like we were just talking about. It's the sitting on the mountaintop, beating our drum. I beat so loud that the MPs come.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's oh Jesus Christ. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna have to.
That's your Friday morning kid. It's there. You're doing it for the weekend.
There was one. It was I can't remember. It was another airborne one. It was it was it was talking about drinking orange, drinking was OJ in the Sunday, and I'd have to go back and look at it. I'd have to go back and grab my cadence book, which is funny because they have a cadence book for NCOs, and it's like this again. This is where you learn the stuff. I guarantee they probably don't even sell that book anymore in the shopettes.
Yeah, when I went to WLC, there were so many of the fellow candidates there that were so like appreciative that I had all these cadences like in my head and I knew them off the top of my head, because they were just doing the normal stuff at their units and the real basic watered down crap, and I come out and I'm just seeing all this stuff going with it, doing Captain Jack.
Oh yeah.
They're just like, oh shit, like that's Army cadences. At one point, I had one of the cadre up there, and he's like, "Hey, we can't be doing that one around here."
It's sad. I mean, we had one. It was tiny. Another one was Tiny Bubbles. It was tiny bubbles in my Kool-Aid. Your left, your left, your left, right, left. Oh,
yeah. The two old ladies laying in a bed.
Yes.
Yeah. All that good stuff. Yeah.
God, I can go on for days with this stuff. 101, patch on my shoulder. And it goes on with those. God.
Oh yeah, napalm sticks to kids, all of those.
Fuck, man, I miss those days. Those are the days I would wake up and I would enjoy running.
I hate it, but at least like that part of it's like, okay, that gets me enough motivation to get through this crap.
Oh, absolutely, because that's what motivates you. Just thinking about, I got to go run. It's like, you look at me now. Do you think I'm running in the morning?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Only time I'm running is if I'm running to go get something to eat early in the morning, and I'm driving my car, and that's running for me.
When I first got out, I was like, the only way that I'm gonna run is if I'm in immediate danger.
Yeah.
And now, with freaking 2 herniated discs in my back and my all the injuries and stuff catching up to me, now it's like, you know what? Is it really worth it? Like,
no. I'll just walk around strapped. I'm like, if I'm in immediate danger, I'm gonna stop this person dead in their tracks. I'm not running.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, I'm with you. But the discs in my back, mildly bulging and herniated, my knees, God forbid, both my knees are shot. I'm constantly putting this gel cream stuff on my knees. I'm going to get cortisone shots when I get told now by other people, don't get cortisone shots, don't do it. It's going to destroy your knees even more. And I'm like, listen, they're already destroyed. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Nothing. Anything that I already don't know is already going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. So I get the people at work, and they look at me like, wow, you're only 40, and I'm like, yeah, only 40. How old are you? Oh, I'm 28, 29, and they're like, I'm like, yeah, you should be working harder than me. I'm doing circles around you right now. And that's why I'm ending my day early, because you're still fucking off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's that, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
Yeah. It's the mileage on this body that's seen. It's seen its fair share of ups and downs of roads, and I've been around the block more than once or twice.
Yeah.
So I've been there, done that, and got the T-shirt. That's it. So no, it's good, and it's again, it's nice that you're able to put these short stories and cadences into this stuff and be able to publish it and be able to do something that you like, that you enjoy doing. How many people can actually say that nowadays? that they're enjoying what they're wanting to do in their life.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just all about investment. And
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, the only regret I have is that I didn't, start sooner. That I didn't let myself enjoy these things sooner. When you're young, you're more, aware of things that are going on outside, and perception is reality kind of, mentality and all that kind of stuff. And once you hit a point, probably after your mid-30s where you just kind of level off and you're like, you know what, like I'm tired of playing everybody's game. I'm always been at the point where it's like I've always been an artist. It's been a part of me. I was drawn as a kid. I'm going to go back to that. And it doesn't matter if I don't sell anything. It doesn't matter if a million people, like this book or anything. It's what I've got to say. And it's better to be out here on the page than in your head, So.
No, you're absolutely 100% correct. It's you're able to say, that you're doing something that you like. You could sell 1 million copies, or you can sell 5 copies. You're doing that, and you're enjoying it, and it's just, again, it's something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
A lot of the people I know that work a 9 to 5 or 7 to 4, they are like, oh, I hate being here. And it's like,
oh, of course, and I'm doing that as well. I got my day job. I always joke that I moonlight as an artist and author, but every time that I get to do these events, every time that I get to go out and promote my books or anything like that, it's like I step into it and I become my best person, and it like refreshes you, it refills your cup. When my memoir dropped this year for I opened it up at I'm trying to remember, I'm sorry, the name was the Avico conference. It's a veterans education conference that they had in Ohio, in Cleveland. And I was like, okay, I don't know how this is going to go. Trying to, launch your book from some place that you're not from, you don't know anything about, at this education conference that's not about selling books. And, you're just like, who knows how this is going to go. But I received such a good reception and showing that out there. And being able to speak to people about it and having them like interact and like really connect with what you're trying to say, and then it gave me an extra added thing that I could use when I'm going out and I'm selling my comics. And now I got my memoir as well, and I'm like, see, here's the beginning of the story, is this memoir. This is what created me, the artist that you see here today, and this is the comic is the result. That's where this story has driven me. No,
and again, it's good. It's nice, nice way to look at it, and your point on it. It's good.
Yeah, and everybody, especially people getting out fresh, the military. I would say that's probably the best advice that I could give would be remember who you were before you signed up. I understand everybody has hang-ups and bad habits and probably parts of your personality that the military improved on. Discipline, things like that. Some people come from pretty bad backgrounds, but the things that you enjoyed doing, the things that you were good at, don't lose those. Go back to those and revisit that part of yourself. Because now with the extra piece of the military that you have in you, you have better tools, you have better experience to apply to those things now.
And it's a good point, because I even told soldiers when they were coming in to our units or into our squad, it was always like, listen, don't forget what you did before you came in, because it's great tools to have in your bag to be able to function here in the military. Because, again, even when it came to being people, some of the people I remember, even they would say, well, you're deploying as a National Guard, or you're deploying as active duty. Active duty only has what they know what in the service. Well, it's untrue. It's not true. They have the knowledge of what they did beforehand, because some of the soldiers didn't just come in right after high school. Some of them, some of them came in 40 years old.
Yeah, you got guys like that. You also got guys they're coming out of high school, and like I had a private who joined the military trying to escape like his home life.
Yeah.
But he was basically the head of the household. He already knew how to pay bills, how to do this and that. Understood all these kind of things. He was far mature beyond his years, and so it's like, it's a mixed bag of who you're going to get when they come into the military.
Yep.
I was 18, fresh out of high school, all that, wide-eyed and just ready to do it. And I drank the sauce. I put myself into it as much as I could, and I lost a little bit of that part of myself. And so it was great later down the line to finally hit that point and just say, I'm going to go back to some of the places where I started at and revisit those parts of my personality.
Yeah. No, it's I did the same thing. I got in, but I wasn't right after high school. I did everything, beforehand, and I still used some of the stuff, and I kept the same who I was, but I made changes on who I was by what I have gained from basic and then AIT and then the rest of my trainings and stuff. I just added to it,
Yeah.
I enjoyed reading comics when I was, younger. It's what got me out of my mind, and be able to just think about, being out of reality and being into something that is, fictional or whatnot. It got me out of that point in time. I still use it. I still use it this day. Even when I get on and I go and do my simulator stuff, I do the same thing. It's like I get out of my mindset of, what I'm doing now, and I'm now doing this simulator, and I'm, flying a plane. I'm reading back what what they call ATC, air traffic control, what they're saying. I'm reading back that to them. Even though it's fictional, it's not real. So it's again, it's something that we all need to do, even when we go into the service, or when new recruits are getting out, and they're getting out of the service. They need to not forget about where they come from, where they came from, or what they've done. Still enjoy the things that you enjoyed beforehand.
Yeah, 100%. I know it's always, when you get out, they tell you like, oh, have a plan. I mean, honestly, most people would probably do better if you almost took like a little bit of a sabbatical when you got out.
Yeah.
Just kind of do like, all right, I'm going to try to figure these things out and not really, try to follow these set ways that we have everything. Because for me, it was, okay, I'm getting out. Okay, I've got to go to college. Going into college, what are you gonna do? Well, I need to work, so I need to find a marketable skill. Okay, I'm gonna go into and do paramedic, and I ended up being a EMT in Houston for 3 years, and I hated every day of that job. I hated every day of the schooling. I was good at it. The skills, weren't above me, and I like if you're doing the actual medical stuff, it can get exciting and enjoyable. But at the end of the day, you're just like, I'm working 90 hours a week and hating just this whole lifestyle and job. What am I doing? You know?
Yeah. Nope, absolutely. It's so true. You know, it's stuff that you're doing, and you know, guys and girls that are getting out of the service, they should kind of take a little sabbatical on it and just be able to say, all right, what do I want to do? How do I want to do it? You know, if you don't already have like somewhat of a kind of a game plan, you know, start getting together a game plan. Realize that now you're back to the old individual, you know, before you got into the service. You're not getting paid every 1st and 31st or the 1st and the 15th. You're not getting BAH. You're not getting this. You're not getting any of this other stuff. You know, you need to get a game plan and figure it out. And just don't rush into something. Because, again, you're going to pound your head against the wall, and you're going to be like, after you did it, you're like, all right, now I need to figure something else out because I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like, I know they push everybody to the GI Bill and doing the college and all that, and you know, some of it's like when you join the military, you didn't. If you joined up enlisted, you didn't have college to begin with, and some people just like, I didn't want to go to college at all. That's why I'm here. So it's like, you don't need to follow down through that path, and there's so many different you know, skill programs now. Everything that I've done artistically has been self-taught, and watching old Bob Ross videos, getting on YouTube and seeing tutorials, and you know, I was a real big like traditional artist. Everything was sketch, pencil, pen, and paint and things like that. And I realized, okay, if I want to do this comic, I've got to step into the digital world. So I just started watching YouTube videos, and okay, this is how you do this. Here's the layers. Here's how you know, can take your pictures and make this happen. And I'm still learning every day with it. But for the people that go through college programs for things like that, they get stuck and they get kind of institutionalized with those things. And there's a right and wrong way to do this, and this is how you do this and that. Well, now you're fighting the whole creativity of the thing.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true. It's you know, even my cousin Robbie, he's the same way. He started everything with sketching stuff out with a pencil. Then he went into doing it with a pen, and then he was also doing it with like charcoal stuff. You know, and using the different colors and everything. You know, now he's a tattoo artist. And I kid you not, he does some phenomenal work that I'm like, dude, how the hell did you do that? You know,
it's just hours and hours and hours of wasting your time.
Yeah.
And if you go through some sort of schooling program for that, it's not going to teach you how to do that. It's going to give you a limited amount of time that you can teach yourself to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I tell people nowadays, you don't need a college degree. What is a college degree gonna give you? It's you don't even, you know what's the sad part is, you don't even get that damn degree until it's paid for. Well, you don't get the piece of paper. You get the the walk.
I got mine, but you know, even then it's worthless. You know, for my day job, I do logistics, supply chain, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And half the stuff that I was learning in the program, I was like, this stuff doesn't really apply very much to what I'm doing in my current job and what my current job is going to, and all of the different aspects about it. And you're just like, okay, and you're supposed to get out of these programs, and they're going to expect you to do these highly technical skills and be able to use these programs and do all these things.
Yeah.
These kids come out of the college just like, no, I don't know how to do any of that. It's like, well, what did you even go to the college for?
It's because they decided to waste money. Unfortunately, what's the normal pay for an average person to go and work, even at a bank, to be, a bank teller or be a financial advisor? $40,000 to $60,000.
Yeah.
And you just spent how much in college?
Yeah.
You're going to be in debt for probably 20 years just for that.
Absolutely.
I have my college degree. I have it in marketing, communication, and sales. I'm not even doing anything with it. With marketing, communication, sales. I may use it, well, no, because it's all outdated. Everything that I've been taught, it's all outdated. Everything it's so different, so new stuff that I have no idea. But I don't do anything with it. I do my own stuff that I have to do, but it's not what I'm normally doing. I'm making really good money working for the state of Massachusetts. I'm highway maintenance. Don't know really how to say it, but it's just I'm a glorified babysitter.
Yeah, I mean, but you're like, hey, if that's the worst, then it's better than stuff.
Yeah.
When I first got out of the military the first time, I worked at a retail boat store, and you're making like right above minimum wage, and you're going to college, and you're just trying to figure those things out. But I really, right when I got out of the military, I got stuck in that mindset where it was like, I have to do the college because of the GI Bill. I have to try to find some sort of work, in this kind of stuff, and not really thinking about like, what do I want to do? And I know a lot of maybe it's a little better now that the way the military is structured or something. I don't know, but when I was in that type of mindset, was kind of like killed in you of trying to like, what do you want to do? It was always, what's the mission? What's the goal? What's this? So to break that kind of like computing in you, it's a hard thing.
Yeah, no, it is, and it's again, I just tell people you can go to college, do what you want to do, unless you're really going to become a doctor or something in the medical field, lawyer, stuff like that.
Even then, it's like, investigate the thing that you're going into. Yeah. Because with me, I was sitting there, I was doing my P1 classes to finish up, do paramedic and all that. And it wasn't until that point that I had met enough people in the industry and talked to people where I figured out, oh, wait, at the end of this, I'm going to finish my paramedic school, get qualified, but then I'm going to get capped out at what I can make at this job, and then that's it. And you can't go any further in that field, right? Yeah. You might get really, really lucky and get picked up for some high-speed paramedic jobs, but you're like one out of 100 million people that want to do those things. You know? And if somebody would have sat down and been like, okay, in this industry, the only people who have upward mobility in the medical field are doctors and nurses. That's it. If you're not a doctor and you're not a nurse, you have no form of upward mobility. Well, of course, I would have looked at my whole like college thing completely different,
Yeah. No, it's so true, and again, it's just the way it is, and we just got to be able to show it to the new guys that are getting out of the service, and then just to educate them on it, because there's so many things out there. I mean, there's the chapter 115 through the VA that can pay for some kind of trade schooling and stuff like that. It's what I did. I got technically I really didn't need to. I really didn't need to go to truck driving school to get my CDL. if I was smart enough just to have my stuff transferred out from the military into civilian, but I didn't. I didn't think of it. So,
well, I mean, you don't know about those things until they happen.
Yeah. Once you find out that that you can do it, and then that's what you need to do. Yeah. It's a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I got lucky when I got out the second time because I jumped into an oil field job, and they said, hey, you need to have a Class B CDL. I had a battle buddy who was in the industry, and he was like, make sure you have this. Oh, okay, I'll go take care of that. But I was surprised to learn it was, I think 2015 or 2016 that, you know, truck drivers didn't even get a CDL for their MOS training stuff. And that's one of the biggest things that I advocate and I preach everywhere I go. If anyone asks me about veteran issues, if anybody asks me why veterans are, you know, suffering, hurting, this and that, I'm like, because there's maybe a dozen jobs in the military, a dozen MOSs that transfer directly and give you the civilian crossover certification skill for what you're doing in the military.
Yep.
It's not like they don't exist for every single MOS.
Yeah.
The person doing, you know, the person who's a laundry specialist, to the infantry guy, to the guys, you know, doing the air traffic control, every single one of them operates under a federal certification.
Yeah.
But the military just doesn't give that to you. And you have to jump through so many hoops to do that.
Yeah. Nope. It's so true. And that's, I mean, again, I was a truck driver in the service. You know, I drove everything under the sun. You know, anything that had tracks or wheels on it, I was driving. All the way up to a 42 wheeler that was a HET, HETT, heavy equipment transportation truck. You know, so now I get out. Now I've got a CDL license. You know, after I had to do the Chapter 115 through the VA, passed it. The DOT cop was like, "Did you drive before?" I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Let me ask you this: was it legal or illegal?" I said, "Well, both." You want me to be honest? Both. You know, but you know, there are, and you got to everybody that's getting in the service. You got to do your own research and be able to understand it. This is the NCO. Stomping my foot. Listen up. You know, this is where you as a soldier need to do your research and look into it. You know, don't just jump on to the first thing and say, "Oh, that's the job I want," because it's some damn title that says, you know, 98 Zulu Combat Ninja. No, don't just go do it. Find something that is going to be able to help you accommodate yourself later on in life. Go be 11 Bravo, but you know what? Go and get cross-trained and do something else. You know, do signal support, air traffic control. Do something.
It's one of those things where it's like, if you really, you know, I was 11 Bravo, and it's, if you enjoy that line of work and that's what you want to do, even outside the military, there are certifications for that line of work, and the best place and time that you have is while you're in the military to, you know, do those. If you're an 11 Bravo and you're in an overseas unit, most likely you've got a security clearance. Okay, that's like half the battle with a lot of jobs. Then you come back and now get your concealed handgun license, get, you know, security certifications, things like that. You're gonna have to do it on your own. You're gonna have to throw down your own money because the, you know, government won't pay for it. But when you walk off of that job, you can walk right into a security job.
Which actually, just so people do know, that Chapter 115, was it 115? It will pay for certain things. Don't get it twisted. There is stuff that they will pay.
Is that on top of your GI Bill? Or?
It is. Is on top of your GI Bill. This is something that they will pay out of the VA. You pay for it, but the VA reimburses you for it. Even like your license to carry, okay, they will pay for certain classes if it's to do with the job. So if you need to have a license to carry, they will pay for it on top of it. So just like my truck driving, they paid for the truck driving, which was like 9-10 grand, but they also paid for my hoisting license and my testing and all that. They paid for all that. They reimbursed me. It was $175 plus, I think $120 for the actual license to get it. But they paid for it. They reimbursed me for it. All I had to do is submit the receipt for it and show that I completed it. All right, fine. And they do. There's so many different things out there. Don't shortchange yourself and realize that, okay, well, I got to pay for it, but will the VA pay for it? You just got to talk to the people that handle those stuff. They will cover so many different things. They won't, like, if you want to become a pilot, they won't cover your private pilot's license, which that's where you got to start off anyways. All right, well, there's other stuff that's out there, other schooling that have a cheaper rate for veterans, which is half the price, like Wolf Aviation in Westfield, Westfield Barnes Airport. They're $7,000 to get your private pilot's license. $7,000. It's a lot. It seems like a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Don't get that twisted. It is a lot of money, but it's a fraction of what it would cost you if you go to some other places, ATP or some other places. It's like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and then you gradually get your other, your VIR and your IFR and all this other stuff that, and then your hours in it. There's other programs, which is called RRAP, RTAG. RTAG. They will get you scholarships for stuff. But as we're actually getting close to it, we're already getting to the ending of this, and I'll bring this back in and talk about it some more. But RTAG, they have so many different scholarships that you can get to get your pilot's license and hours and your private pilot's license. But we'll definitely continue this and talking about it more. We'll probably have you back again, Steve, on this to continue this. This is absolutely. There's so much more. There's so much stuff that you got that's out there. Just don't shortchange yourself. Don't think it. Don't settle for the bare bottom. There's so much out there, and don't get yourself into debt if you don't need to. College degrees are not always 100% things that you have to get. You will make money. You will get by. You will be able to retire at some point. I'm almost sounding like David Ramsey right now. We'll take the baby steps right now, okay? It's a snowball effect. Absolutely. So we'll definitely get back to this and talking about it next time. Again, Steve, I really appreciate it. Coming on and talking about the comic books and the stuff that you're doing with the short stories and all that as well. Thanks to all the listeners out there listening in on with us, and we'll definitely catch you guys later. We'll have Beavis and Butthead take it away, and we'll see you guys next time. See you guys later.
Later.